Sometimes I hate being a working adult and that I can just, just do this full time because literally the first, opportunity that I could, like at my first break at work, I see this trailer pop up. And of course it pops up early in the morning, so it's just going to taunt and tease me to watch it. But no, I held off and I'm watching it right now, and I'm going to give you guys all my thoughts on it after my reaction and what I think that this story may be. But I am, of course, talking about the FNAF 2 trailer. We did, well, not necessarily a reaction to the teaser. I more so broke down what was going on in that teaser. And I'm going to do the exact same thing after my reaction. But now that I've managed to work my way around copyright a little bit better, I can actually show you guys the trailer that it's going on. But kind of my thoughts on the first movie. I loved the first movie. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it was truly made for FNAF fans to enjoy. Like, if you hadn't, seen somebody play, every single game, followed every single theory video that, Game Theory put out and stuff like that, you weren't gonna get a whole lot. But if you were a day one fan, or even a little bit of a fan, you caught on to some stuff, and it really worked for me. But for us fans that know how Scott works, it's like every single critique he brings in, and then he fixes it in the next thing that he does. And so I'm very much looking forward to FNAF 2. Same cast as our previous film. I believe same director as well. Emma Tammy is coming back to direct, and I believe Scott also had some help in the writing process of this movie. But that is enough of me gib-gabbing. Let us dive into the official trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Definitely not the Freddy's I remember.
You're thinking of the franchise location. This is the original. Nobody's been here for decades. Some little girl got murdered here. Do you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Oh no.
So this is what it's like? Being normal?
I think we've come pretty far, considering what we've been through.
How's Abby?
Some days she's good. Some days she misses her friends.
This story that you're gonna fix those animatronics? It's only giving her false hope.
Can any of you hear me?
Abby, help us. Come find us. I will show you the way.
God.
Oh no.
They're out there, Mike.
Where?
Everywhere.
Where are you gonna run to? I'm not done with you.
There's no way that'll work.
Put on that mask. Oh, man. Alright, so I'm going to put this on mute and going to slow this puppy down. We'll probably go half speed. And we'll put closed captions on. Alright, so we have this crew. And I did not believe they show the cast again. Alright, so obviously camera guy, horror vet at this point, Teo Briones, he's in this, and I believe the lady that is in the group, that would be McKenna Grace, who is also a bit of a horror vet in her own right, as well. I don't know who the third guy is, though. Of course, they're saying, of course, the dude with the light is like, this isn't the location that I remember. And McKenna Grace's character is like, because that was the big franchise location. This is the other location. It's the original location, which was the story in the second game, that the location that we find ourselves in the second game was the original location. Well, it was the first location before the first game's location. Because the second game is actually a prequel. If you look at the check, it says 1987, whereas first game's check was 93. So, my assumption as to timeline-wise, if you guys remember, it showed a brief glimpse of CCTV tape in the first movie, and it had the year 2000 on it. So my assumption is it's one of two things that's going to happen. One, so either these scenes are back in time, like, say, late 90s, like 98, 97, somewhere around there, or we've jumped ahead in time, which I think is the more likelier assumption. Probably maybe 2002, 2003 maybe, and these guys are exploring the old location after hearing what happened in the events of the last film. That's just my assumption as to what is going on. And no one's been there for decades. We get a shot of Balloon Boy in the flesh this time. He was a little, like, miniature that got 3 jump scares in the movie. Now we're actually going to see him now. Have a nice little... my assumption is that's a pirate ship. Pirate ship ball pit. And then, of course, we have the toy animatronics. So, and based on the fact that they are nice and polished here, makes me think that this is sometime before 2000, like I said, 98 or 97, somewhere around there. Because when we go forward, they are damaged. They're the damaged versions that we remember from the game. So that's why I say this might take place before the events of the main movie that we're going to get. They say some little girl got murdered here. I'm trying to remember here. I think one of the mini games in FNAF 2 deals with like Freddy in like maybe the first location where he has to hand out cakes to like, crying kids, but there's a kid outside of the building that can't get any cake, and you see a car pull up, a guy comes out, basically kills the kid and then drives away, which that is I yeah, it's like it's the in-game origin for the puppet in this. But I don't think that this girl is going to be our puppet in this instance, because I think I have a feeling that Garrett in the movie, Mike's younger brother, is probably more likely going to be the puppet in this instance, just to make it, tie into the movie. Anyway, I'm talking. Let us continue on with the trailer. So yeah, just looking over the location, and we get a look at the puppet plushie at the prize counter. More looks at what I'm assuming is a water ride. That's my assumption anyway. And McKenna Grace's character hears the classic wind-up music for the puppet, because anybody who has played Five Nights at Freddy's 2 will know you have to keep that music box wound. Otherwise, that puppet is going to come and kill you, no matter, and it's pointed out later on in like the last shot of this trailer, that there's a mask in the office. That mask helps you in FNAF 2, but it does not defend against the puppet. The puppet doesn't care. If you're masked, unmasked, it doesn't care. It will get you. So she stumbles across the present, which houses the puppet. Music stops, and that present opens, and my assumption is McKenna Grace's character is going to get killed by that puppet. And that it's probably going to happen. And then another shot of the FNAF Fest is what I'm going to call it. Of course, we have Elizabethlail returning in the cast. Josh Hutcherson returning as well. Of course, Josh Hutcherson, Mike, Elizabethlail, Vanessa. Quick recap: Vanessa was stabbed by her own father, William Afton, Matthew Lillard's character, and she was in a coma at the end of the first film, which is why I say there's going to be a time jump from like movie one's events to this movie's events, and I think we're going to be ping-ponging a lot in this movie, because FNAF 2 really kind of set up a lot of stuff that would be pulled on in other games, but also gave a lot of backstory as to who Purple Guy really was, and just how deep his legacy was into like killing kids, because in those mini games in FNAF 2, it's like there's a lot of kids, in a lot of dead kids in his past, and so like Vanessa says, so this is what it's like being normal, and Mike's like, consider a lot, considering what we have gone through. Quick shot of Afton in the suit talking about Abby. It's like some days are good, and then some other days misses the friends. And this shot right here, I don't know if they will touch upon it, because, I mean, depending on how well these movies do, like, I think they're guaranteed 3. If they are going to continue past 3, will they get into the concept of Remnant? And I don't know how to, like, fully describe Remnant, but it's like what I term it as soul juice. Like, it's a person's soul, and, you know, you can put it into, basically what Afton does is he puts it into the animatronics. And just with, like, you know, the shell with the robotics and, like, the center, it's like, you know, it is essentially how the animatronics work, but it's also like, also looks like a bit of, like, you know, Remnant. Like, you can put, like, Remnant in there, and that's how you can make it come alive. I don't know. I may be reaching too far here. Flash to the first location. Story that you're going to fix those animatronics is only giving her false hope. And she's talking into this Faz talker, which I really like the design of this. And then it comes live with the same robotic voice that you sometimes hear in FNAF 2, I want to say, where you hear, like, these random letters, and it actually spells out these messages. And in fact, it was in the end credits for FNAF 1 with the puppet music in the background and letters spelling out "come find us" or "come find me," one of the two. And many people assumed that it was the puppet. And I'm thinking it is the same case here. It is the puppet trying to communicate to Abby as to where they can find them. Most likely in the second location. It's saying "help us," and then "come find us." So she rides the bike, saying, "I will show you the way." And we got that shot in the first teaser of Abby pulling up to the second location as well. And then we get a cool shot of Toy Chica lighting up. And Mike has that look of, like, oh god. And then, Teo Briones' character, most likely going to get killed, just by the fact that there are endoskeleton, like, limbs. My assumption is that this is Mangle. I'm pretty sure that this is Mangle going to be doing this. And he gets yanked up. And I don't know, that's like an endoskeleton, like, reaching out towards the camera. Although I think, Mangle had, like, endoskeleton parts on him as well. So it still could be Mangle, but it also could just be an endoskeleton, because there are, if you look at, like, the security camera footage, there are, like, endoskeletons in, like, the back room. So I don't know, it could potentially just be an endoskeleton. Quick shot of Toy Chica in a school, and then this really cool shot of what is most likely the hands of the puppet just reaching over this ledge to where Vanessa is looking down. That's a really cool shot. And there's another cool shot later on that I clocked that I really, really liked. Toy Freddy stopping the garage door and lifting it up. Okay, so the reason why I say this is gonna ping pong a lot, and I clocked this in the trailer, was this shot of a kid somewhere. I don't want to say the kitchen because it doesn't look like a kitchen. Um, this could just be like a door to where the animatronics like enter and exit, because in 2 they have more mobility. I think one of the phone guy tapes says that they have more mobility and they can move around freely in the restaurant. So this may be like a door to which they can enter and exit. But that's clearly Afton in his Spring Bonnie costume. Maybe potentially looking over his next victim, maybe. I don't know, but I guarantee it's Afton. And then this cool shot of Vanessa looking at something and then the puppet just walking up behind her. It's so cool. I can't wait to see the puppet in this movie because, like, the puppet in the games is the very linchpin of, I would say, probably definitely both of the creation and the downfall of Afton in the games, I would say. Like in the main, probably say 5, 6, no, definitely 6 games. And when I say 6 games, I include like the first 4, Sister Location, and then Pizzeria Simulator. So very interested to see what they do with the puppet in the movies. But yeah, this shot's really, really cool. Toy Bonnie grabbing, I don't know my cutlery as well as most other people. It's not an ice pick, but I don't know what else it would be because like I just don't know my way around cutlery. I assume that's an ice pick. That, of course, the saying the big tagline, "Evil has left the building." Of course, we have the shot from the teaser of Freddy walking through the FNAF Fest. Balloon Boy in the water ride. Oh, yeah, this is a really cool shot. Mangle on top of, my assumption is the the oh my god, why am I the van of the characters that were in the restaurant. And I think that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool shot. And then just see Afton, of course, in the suit, just walking down the hall, wielding a knife. That's scary. That's really, really scary. And this right here, this is probably a nightmare sequence. I'd have to guess a nightmare sequence. Because it's the older Spring Bonnie suit. And it's with Vanessa at what looks like, just based on the flyers in the back, maybe a health clinic? Maybe? That's just a guess. And we see Toy Chica pull the dude through the classroom door. Toy Chica walking and probably also strangling that teacher. And then, of course, the child giggles. And this is how the office is in the second game. It's just a long hallway with many rooms off to the side. And yeah, no doors in that second office. And what do you have to protect yourself from the animatronics? A mask. And I love that Mike says, "Oh, that won't work." No, it will work. You need to put that on. It's like you need to put that on. And you also need to, like, do you flash Balloon Boy with your flashlight to get him to go away? Because if Balloon Boy gets in your room, you can't use your flashlight. Your flashlight is kaput. I just love that Mike says, "There's no way that'll work." No, it will work. And then cool shot of Toy Chica with the arms ripped off, because that's how she is in the game. Looks like she tried to snatch the mask away from Mike, but Mike hurriedly just puts it over his face. You get a POV shot of exactly how it is in FNAF 2, and then Scrap Bonnie coming through the vents, which I don't think Scrap Bonnie... No, yep. I was like, I don't think he goes through the vents. No, he does. He does go through the vents. And there we go. We have the title card for the movie, and we have the release date of December 5th. And thank goodness that this movie is straight to theaters. And only being shown in theaters. Not to say that, them releasing it on Peacock the same exact day was a bad decision, because they still made money on that first movie. I think they made almost $300 million on that first one, despite the fact that they released it the same day as Peacock, or same day on Peacock. They still made a pretty good chunk of change. So, considering the fact that this is getting the full theatrical treatment, I'm going to assume that a lot more people are going to go see it in theaters. And I think this movie is going to make even more money than the first one, for sure. But I'm very excited for this movie. I can't wait for this movie in December. I'm probably going to fanboy over every single Easter egg that I find in this movie, and if I don't find every single one of them, then I can just turn to, the FNAF YouTubers like, Dawko, Game Theorist, FNAF, all of them. They put out amazing work, and I'll be able to, catch up on all the little details that I missed, that I didn't catch on my first time watching it. But yeah, that is my reaction to the FNAF 2 movie trailer. Again, very much looking forward to it. December is going to be a fun time at the movies, because not only will this movie be coming out, but it was just confirmed recently that Avatar 3, its trailer, will be debuting in front of Fantastic Four, First Steps. So look out for a similar video to what I did for the Odyssey trailer breakdown, in that I'm going to be talking about what is in the trailer, because it won't be released online anyway, at least for a while. So look out for that video as well. But in the meantime, guys, be safe out there, and make sure you keep your music boxes wound up, okay? Because you don't want a puppet coming in and strangling you to death. Just a word of advice, alright? And I will see you guys next time.